everybody, and welcome back in. Welcome back in to T and TypeScript. Let's see who's there today. HCastover just joined in again today. Welcome back in the chat and stream. Idiosis is also here again. Thanks for joining in again. Hoping to see you in the chat as well. So how have you guys been doing? Did you have a nice day? I hope my microphone is on. Yeah. So let's say hi first of all in the chat, just to ensure that everything's working. Interesting. Which has just knocked me out of my stream, out of my account. So let me log back in. Yeah, so there's one thing I'm currently trying to do. You guys are still there, which seems to be pretty cool if it did work, which is this, the bats. Or let's maybe There we go. Let me just double check my audio here, to really make sure. Yep. Okay, everything works fine. Yeah. So one thing I would like to get working, besides from looking into Blitz more, is this cool Twitch VS Code plugin, so that you guys can actually send something like !line. I hope you can see that. So it basically connects to the chat just like we did, but it's actually a VS Code plugin. And you guys can then, with !line and then the number, you can highlight where, for example, I forgot to add a bracket, or tell me very precisely where exactly things go wrong, because things will go wrong, right? This is live coding after all. That's part of the challenge and fun. Before we start that, so I'm kind of struggling between adding this one now, which requires me, unfortunately, to log in with my second account, with my what's it called, with my chatbot account, to get to connect properly, or whether we immediately start with Blitz and take kind of the safe route. Well, as safe as you can be when trying something new. The plugin, you mean, is pretty cool. I think so too. It looks amazing if it works. I haven't seen it used by anybody yet, which kind of surprises me. Maybe they found enough vulnerabilities in it, which would be bad. I mean, essentially, you have, to a degree, you have access to you can do local code execution. And VS Code is very, very powerful. So if you are able to get more out of it than just highlighting a line, then I should be worried. But anyway, before we discuss any further, let's first have a small drink. Yep. So yeah, which one should we do? or a separate one. Yeah, I would like to do a separate one. Let's just do it for 5 minutes. We have a timer here. Timer 5 minutes. Or better like so. And I move that here. So we have now 4 minutes. Oops. 4 minutes and 43 seconds. I should click the start button to get this one running. For this, I have to move here for just a second. It's already not merging. Redirect URI does not match registered URI. Ah, damn it. It's not working anymore. Really? What is it? Doing authorization stuff on stream is always a good idea. Ideally, you just show everything. There's no control over the content of local HTTP. Yeah, I doubt that localhost is running on HTTPS, first of all. This one here is running localhost 45. Okay, yeah. This redirect URL doesn't seem to be correct. One good thing by looking into it, we can learn a bit about OAuth. So OAuth essentially always prescribes this kind of pattern. So you have the domain, then you say OAuth 2, so when it's version 2 already, and then you have the authorize endpoint. And then you have a few parameters. One, redirect URI. So scope, maybe I should just do this. Vamps. So we have the client ID, which is, let me see, I think it needs to be registered with Twitch. Where's my, I can't find the right window. Highlighter. Let's open that one up again. What do they say? So we should set the channels, which I did. Save your changes and close that tab. Go back to the UI. Nickname settings is totally irrelevant. Make sure you're logged in to your Twitch account you wish to authorize. Yeah, well, that didn't work. Are there any other settings? Channels, highlight color, highlight, join, announce, usage tips. Ah, darn. It would be so great to have this. Last release, last updated on 2020. So maybe it's broken by now. 15 days ago, publish extension to OpenVSX. They don't say OAuth is not working, at least. Or authorization. No. Which is to a degree confusing. Redirect URL. Which highlighter? Sign out. Stop listening. Start listening to chat, maybe. Did that work already? I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago, right? That's when we set up our Twitch bot. We were able to listen to the chat without any login or whatsoever, which sound is a bit low. Okay, let me try to fix that. Maybe like so. Is that better? No, I just have to be careful not to overdrive this. Ah, the timer. We lost. Where's the timer again? There we go. Okay. Then, well, I will try again. And maybe we can get this running. Some for the next time. And hopefully can actually use it. Or let's just try it once. Exclamation mark line 1. Yeah, no, nothing worked. Yeah. Okay. Then I have a task. Highlight 9.1. Okay, so this is what it would look like from you. But besides that, it's not working just yet. Stop listening and stop highlighting. Remove all highlights. Okay. Then, thanks for staying with me. It looks very useful. Again, I haven't seen anyone actually use it, but the maker of this, Clarkio. So I've seen him stream multiple times. So this is the one channel that I'm always listening to, essentially, or the group, the team, Live Coders, and Clarkio is in here somewhere, and he did streaming in the last few weeks. So if you want to check it out, it's a great place to find more streamers. For example, MB Crump is also in here. One streamer that I follow relatively closely for InfoSec stuff. Everything security, as well as some Arch Linux, but I'm not into that one too much. Just to give him a shout out. Okay, then that's it for that part. And what we are going to do next is this. We did look at Blitz.js last week, and we got it to a point where we were able to run the application. Let's just look at it maybe. So CD episode 3, Blitz.js. And I think all I need to do is run yarn dev or npm run dev or whatever. And then it's starting right here in my browser. So the HK the yes exclamation mark was for volume is better now, I hope. Okay, so let's look at it. Happy tea time, everybody. Much better. Awesome. So we are actually still logged in as a user here. I don't know, maybe we can see something in the console. No, we can't. But we can click on account and we get nowhere, because this is, I think, what we tried to do. No, we tried to do questions first of all. Yeah. So we did start the development server. We signed up as a user. We did write our first page, so we just adjusted the existing one slightly. I think we added this link button, which is kind of a mess right now. And we added this title. What else do we have? We did some database stuff. So one thing that we were able to do is run a new terminal, yarn Blitz Prisma Studio. Blitz is not found because I'm in the wrong E3. Yes. J. Yarn Blitz Prisma Studio. So I was in the wrong directory for a second. And then we have the models here. So we are already running not Postgres, but a SQL-based database with the help of SQLite. For production, probably we would use something like Postgres. One interesting thing that I found up here is Blitz is in beta, and it's expected to be in 1.0 in May or June. So we're actually ahead of the curve. we're doing top-notch newest technology here. Don't use it in production. Most likely, if at least not on my risk, you use it at your own risk. But they are expecting to release rather soon, like in a month or two. So with the help of Prisma Studio, we are able to look at database entries. For example, here are some users, test and hello at example.com, two users that we have. This is probably the user that I'm logged in with, hello at example.com. First, because it has an ID. Second, because it actually has a session. So, and because we're logged in, so we must have a session, right? May or June equals July. Yeah, release dates can be subjective, let's say. But I don't know. They might be able to. I don't know. I haven't seen their past performance, so maybe they actually are very close to releasing, but maybe they are not. So this is Prisma Studio. We can look. We did have a look at that. We added questions. So one of these, close this model here, we added, and we were able to look at it, but I forgot how. Playing with the database. Yeah, I just want to open it. What's the route again? Yeah, we did have to, so the code generation was not perfect yet. We did have to do some manual stuff here. Just getting us up to speed again right now. And then we can continue. New initial value choices, empty array. Did we set this? This looks new to me. Ah, yeah. Here we go. This is what I want. Yeah. Look at this beautiful page. Let's deploy it and say we've built Facebook 3.0. So how many cups of tea did you drink today? As question to everybody in the chat. For me, it's the third can, which means probably like number 8 or something. Big cups. Can we already answer it? 2. And cups of coffee? The question should be about hot beverages, to be honest. We're inclusive here. What we were not able yet to do yet was having choices for these questions. I think we did add 1 or 2 over 9,000 for question number 1, which was the how many cups of tea did you have question. So we should have one choice at least. We can only drink over 9,000 per day. But we were not able to see those yet. But to do that, one thing that we did do is add this. So we had a mutation here, delete questions. And I think we did add kind of cascading. Whenever you delete a question, all the associated choices should be deleted as well, so you don't have orphaned choices in your database. And I think we did that. Let's see. Yeah, we did do that. And we also have this beautiful comment on top of it. So one thing that we should be able to do now, if we go to our question here, just to check that it works, we delete this one record and we save it. Then it fails. Great. Change you're trying to make would violate the required relation choice to question between the choice and question model. So what exactly did fail here? Prisma question.delete where ID equals 1. Okay. So one cool thing definitely is this might be Prisma. Probably it's Prisma, not Blitz. But we get kind of useful errors. Prisma client known request error. So having said that, we can maybe this not apply maybe yet, and we have to rerun the database or something, or reapply this. Reapplying this resolve, it does not make sense, right? Because it's a front end. No, it's not front end code. It's Blitz magic front end and back end code that we do not quite understand yet. Okay, maybe we just continue with this stuff here. So our question is still there because we were not able to delete it. Let's see. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to add choices to the question form. The question form is, I think, this here. Or in the worst case, this one. Maybe create one. So let's do just that. I suppose it's this one. Create question. Here we go into our component. So we did already add these. We have it with text. Is text the right field? Yeah, it's the right field apparently. So what's it called? Choice. Choices have text. Yeah. So that should be all right. We did do this. Now we can go to new questions page. The page should be this guy. And the questions form is then what exactly? Compared to that? Probably, yeah, okay. This one is the parent component. And here they ask us to add initial value choices is an empty array. In initial values, currently it's empty. So we should add this one and we should have choices in here. So this provides a property of initial value to this form here, which does some extension and does some form stuff. Probably we put the property props dot initial. Yeah, there they are. And they get passed into this form here. Did that already help? No, not yet. Too bad. Let's continue. Then open create question.ts and update the ZOT schema so that the choice data is accepted in the mutation. Okay, let's open this first of all. See what they mean. Currently, we don't have choices here. So probably we should do something like this. Choice or choices. Yeah, choices. And now choices z.array of probably z.string. That's my best guess. What it actually is, it's an object with a text. Okay. z.object. And then we describe the form of this object, which is, so this is actually the form of the choice that we add. This probably, so I'm guessing now to a large degree. Is that correct? Yeah. In the errors, and then it says ZOT array is not callable. Because it's just array. Okay. Which makes sense. If this is object and this is string and not ZOT, what's it called? ZOT. Probably pronounced this wrong. Then this should be probably array and not ZOT array. So it's an array of text objects of type string, like so. Which, yeah, for choices they have a text, and that was pretty much it. We go into the migration again. They also have votes, but they have a default value, and they are associated to a specific question, which is because we are creating this from a specific question. This is not user input, but input that we can, as programmers, can provide. But the text is user provided. Votes is defaulted. And then we have all these three, and it should be more or less all right, I hope. So what else do we have to do? When we create a question with the help of Prisma, then it takes all the input, but it should also create choices. Kind of. Yeah. Because we always create choices together with a question. Oh, in theory, we could create questions without choices, but we don't want to do that. That's why we can provide it like this, apparently. This one. So this is data, and we take dot input, and then we have the choices. Why not? Shouldn't it be choice? db.question.create data, then input, and then choices. And here we have create input.choices. So we reference this guy essentially, this array. So now the interesting part starts. The choices does not exist yet. How? I think we did fix that for text already once. Now we have to find out how we can do that for here again. Try it out. No, I cannot. Great. So now we have to do some guesswork again. This data does not have choices apparently, but it does have choice. Where does this one come from? Is the big question. Does this work? I mean, on the database model, what we have, it's called choice and not choices with small letter instead of capitals. So maybe either I did something wrong in the creation, or they just made a typo here, which is also possible. Yeah, let's try it out for the time being. Questions, create question. This didn't work yet. Prisma Studio is up. Fine. Let's restart. Even though I think we don't have to do it. For the most part. Filing successful. Create question. How long has it been here? And I have not seen it. Great. So chat, give me a question that we put in here. Nothing dirty, please. We want to be friendly for the family. And ideally 1 or 2 choices as well. But one thing at a time. How you doing? How you're doing? How are you? Choice. 1000. Thank you, Chrome, for this great auto-completion. Fine, thank you. Because we're British and we drink tea. Have some tea. Let's go 1 in the middle. Neutral, kind of. 0, give me tea. How are you doing? Can we already create the question with just 2? That's also an interesting question here. Just 2. I'm good. And just 3. Ask me again later. Avoiding stuff. And now the fun stuff begins. Did you mean? Okay. So what do we have here? In a bit. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. So we have an error. Invalid Prisma. Invocation with data, choices, text. So these are the actual choices. Then we have, this is not, this looks like a JSON, right? If we remove this, It looks like a JSON. So probably we can put that inside of here and do some change language mode, right? JSON. Change language mode, JS. And run a formatter on top of it. That didn't work. This is semicolon expected. No, it's not. Yeah. Like so, format document. Yeah, this looks fine now. Okay. So this is what we've got. And now, unknown argument choices. So this is kind of what we expected to see, right? Judging from this, we did get the input, which looks like an object, test text. Oh, let me just write this as an interface. Interface create question. It is an object, test text, which is a string, test choices, which is an object, which is a text string, and which is an array. So I think this should match more or less, like so. Then we did get this guy. Interestingly. Unknown argument choices in data.choices for type question create input. So this is actually apparently an error from Zot. Yeah, Zot. the validation library. Did you mean choice? Available arguments of type. So should we put this here? Did you mean choice? Available arguments of type. Here's actually the interface that I just wrote. No, this was the backend part, because it has created text and choice. Maybe we put it like this. Yeah, the data flow is slightly confusing. I'm not sure when this is actually called. So it's a resolver that pipes, which means it executes this first, then it executes this, and then it executes this. So these are also just functions, right? Resolver authorize. I think this is a function. Yeah, it is a function. So this is kind of like middleware style. We first do this, then we do this, and then we do this. Middleware style in Express. And I suppose we are failing here before we can actually get to this fun stuff. But then if we change this up here, which is the input, this value here, if we change it up here, we should also change it up down here, right? I'm not quite sure where this comes from, but let's see. Save. we can try out. Reload. Do I have to restart? No, probably not, right? How are you doing? Question mark. Fine. Good. And ask me later. There we go again. Invalid type of choice required. So apparently it does go to choices. Wait, which part is actually failing here? Invalid, this one. This one. So it's not here where we failed. This was fine. Let's leave it like this. And now, what I would have expected is this. But because we do ... here, and it doesn't like that. So let's just do it. Yeah, we can do a pig, maybe, to not include all the ugly stuff. What is it? Is it an array? I think. So we have text. We have updated. Or we can, no, let's not use pick, but the inverse, which is omit, right? So omit, Lodash function, very useful. is everything from Lodash. We can throw away stuff. So in this case, if I omit nothing, you just get the input as far as I remember. But what we can and want to do is we want to omit choices here. The problem is to get this type correctly. Oh, null. This is an object. That didn't work. Okay, let's do it the simple way. Text input.text. Aren't these automatically created? Because we don't have it on input. Yeah. Okay, that was easier than expected. Reload and Marathon All Corporation. I have no idea when I wrote that, but let's take it. I'm good, and my fair dose of cups. That worked! It worked! We can't see it, but it seemed to have worked. If we... I closed Prisma Studio. Let's open it again. There it is. It worked. High five, guys. Nice. So what did we just learn? This piping takes, so we get the input, it gets put into this, it gets validated with the help of this guy here. Then we do some authorization, okay. It's probably just a helper to ensure that we are actually authorized and not just write to the database without actually having authorized, which would be bad. And then, so this is kind of like a middleware. I think that's the best summary. And then we call the database and create both the the question, but we can also, with the help of this create property, also create choices. And this matches just the model of, maybe we should look at the migration for question. I was about to say maybe it contains choice instead of choices, but it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so and here we provide the data, kind of the foreign key, the model of the foreign key we can provide and automatically create it together with that one. And we can provide even an array. What was failing here is that the input, this guy, did have another property, which is called choices, because it's up here, and which looked exactly like choice. Yeah, looked exactly like here. We're actually using it, but Prisma didn't like it. For, I don't know, apparently it does require strict validation. Does that make sense with what we have on the error? So this is where we are erroring in Prisma when we create the question. We did provide the choices as the data, but this is not an argument that is allowed for question create input. Where do we have that? Nowhere. Wait. Question. Yeah, I'm trying to find out where this is, but it does not have any matches in the whole repository. So this is definitely not written by us, but automatically generated by the framework. Okay, this makes sense. So if we, let's say we have another model in Prisma, say we have questions and answers, and the model is called answers. Like in here, we have answer here. Then we would provide it like so, and we could create it here, and we do input.answer, because there's only one answer to the question of how many cups of tea have you drunk, did you drink? And then that works, as well as providing, if we put it into the question form, we would probably need to validate it here, which is a string, I guess. Does that make sense? At least to me it does, somewhat. Whether it's actually correct, we will see as soon as we try to do some custom stuff. And of course, we would also need to provide actually a place in this form to provide an answer. Okay, I think we've got this. It does. Awesome. Listing choices. Let's continue then. Let me fill up my tea first. Doing it, of course, next to the microphone. I'm not sure where that's filtered out by the environment filter. Time for a breather. Yeah, I think so too. Good job, guys. Good job, team. All right. So what do they say? Go back to questions in your browser and look at all the questions you've created. Yeah, we did create one. And we also had one from before, which does not have any choices visibly attached to it, but it also has a choice, I think, attached to it. This one, yeah. Ooh, cool. You can update it very easily. All right. How about we list these questions choices here too? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Not maybe not here, but at the very least here. Yeah, and they want to do it in get question, which is I think this one and not this one, but maybe I'm wrong. First we need to customize the question queries. Okay. In Prisma, you need to manually let the client know that you want to create query for nested relations. In some, I think at Postgres, if you're doing native Postgres, there's a eager loading, it's called in Postgres, where you would associated with each maybe that's a typo ORM thing. Eager loading would mean as soon as we grab the parent, the primary resource, we also grab all the associated what's it called? Foreign keys. The object associated to the foreign keys. Lazy is the other one. Yeah, eager loading or eager relations. So here it says, maybe let me post that. Eager relations are loaded automatically each time you load entities from the database. On the contrary, lazy, they are. Is that just another? That's yet another one. I'm not 100% sure whether lazy is the exact opposite of eager, but yeah, let's leave it at that. So Prisma also does not do eager loading, which is why we have to say include whenever we try to find a question, which is easy enough. Get questions right here. And this looks slightly more. Am I in the right one? Queries get question. Queries get question. Yeah. So this is get questions. That's the top level. That's used here, but we want to use get question like there. Yeah, that looks better. And here doesn't find first, and we want to use include. Now the question is, how is it called? Choice. Get choice. Choice is true, but it might just be choice true. Is it typed? Oh, it's typed. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so I'm very happy that it's completely typed, which immediately tells us that we're wrong with choices. On the other hand, I'm kind of curious where we did a mistake following the tutorial, such that that this one is not choices, but we always have to use choice, just as we had to do here, and not here, but here. Yeah. So They also want to do it for all the questions. Okay. Which is here. And here we do find many. We have a where statement here. And if I'm not mistaken, all we need to do is do this. And then we say choice true. Yeah. I like their formatting better. This is kind of cluttered, but we have prettier, no. Anyway. Like so. Now we did that. So in the query, at least, they are supported. And now we have to show them as well. We do get them in the front end. And now we have to go to the front end part, which is not the form, but what is it called? Should be able to find it from here. Components, question form. Questions, queries, questions, form. No, not the form. Create, that's a mutation query. Where's the actual page? Ah, here, it's under pages. So for whatever reason, it's under pages. And inside of here, we have index, probably. That's the whole list. And when we show the whole list, we also want to get the choices shown. Do we? Yep, we want. So here we have a list item for each question, and below that probably we map over all the questions, and inside of this list item, I suppose we want to have another list, unordered list apparently, and we do questions dot question dot choice, which is slightly confusing because it's actually an array, dot map, and this. So we have one choice, and each of these choices, let's first of all show it, choice.text. Oh. Wrong brackets. I want to have these. Okay. Of course, you have to put in the brackets. Bam, Issa. Did it. Whoop, whoop. So what do they want us to do? Yeah, actually, we probably have an error here. Yeah, a warning. Each child in a list should have a unique key property. We can easily fix that by doing this, choice.id. Bams. There it is. So that re-renders are actually faster. Command. Ta-da! Hacker team. And with that, we also want to show the choices, which makes sense. The number of votes, which we can do as well, which is choice.votes, and then we just show the plain text votes. And currently it should default to 0. Yep. As expected. Now C/questions and enjoy the magic. Awesome. So what we did not change is if we go here. Oh. So why does that work? Probably it's not doing any extra rendering, but just it takes the input and renders it completely. That's my best guess here. So in question ID, so this is Next Next.js syntax. So it could be, for example, 2, or it could be 3, but we probably get index out of bounds. Yeah. For 1. But it actually does not real rendering. So it gets the question, but all it does is takes JSON.stringify and it prettifies it slightly by having 2 spaces here and renders it. I'm not sure what the pre is. You guys are more familiar probably with semantic HTML. What is pre? I want to learn more semantic. Pre-formatted text. Is that actually semantic? Probably not really, right? The pre tag defines pre-formatted text. Text in the pre element is displayed in the fixed width form. Pre-coded, yeah. Pre-formatted, they call it pre-coded pretty much. And the text preserves both spaces and line breaks. It's actually pretty useful because a lot of the time you just don't care how it looks, but you still want to show it. It's kind of semantic, is it? I mean, it can be anything. There's also code. Defines a piece of computer code. Does it actually render? Not really. Okay, but this one is definitely a semantic. But yeah, you might be right. It's somewhat it is semantic. It's definitely more semantic than just plain text, span or diff. Cool. I learned something new today. I mean, I learned a lot of new things today already. Thanks to our going through Blitz here. That they basically use middlewares and how we add stuff on the question and so on. One thing I'm still confused is where we messed up the format of choices versus choice. Well, but that's fine. Cool. So that explains why we already see the choices here. They just stringify it and put it in this nice, neat little pre-formatted text HTML tag, so that the the white space is actually preserved. Here, however, we have to actually do stuff. Cool. Sorry, I jumped to the wrong place. Let's let people vote. Sounds good. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Do I have /home/ /programming. And what I'm looking for is ngrok. Do I have ngrok in here? Awesome. Because then you can actually use it. Neat. Now I just have to remember the ngrok. Because there is a slightly non-standard way of writing it. So if you don't know ngrok, pretty awesome tool for sharing your local sessions, because it essentially just creates a public URL, forwarding, or your local host is forwarding to the public URL. And you can essentially just run a web server with it. It also has some critique because hackers used it to run bad code, or for create bad web servers for essentially no cost at all, because it's also for free. But it's like a knife, right? It's always like a knife. You can use it to cut your bread and have something to eat, or you can use it for bad things. Now let me just find the ngrok command. HTTP, but this there's slightly more. And which port is it? 3000. /ngrok. There it is. HTTP 3000 minus host minus header equals localhost 3000. Thank you. And now if you go to this web page, you can hack me. You can try to at least. Oh, server error. Damn it. What is going wrong? Maybe the HTTP TBS is too much. Cannot read includes. It's not working. The port forwarding. Too many requests. What just happened? Too many requests. How many requests did we just get? None. What just happened? Maybe my version is just too old. So this works. Let's try again. So far, nothing bad happened, which is good. So with this link, you should be able to actually see just this. And you can sign up. Maybe not use your real for privacy and not bringing me into trouble of GDPR stuff. Maybe not use your real email, but just something with @example.com. And then you can play around with it. Write some questions. And in the meantime, we try to also continue and then add a voter. And you can vote, hopefully, getting slightly more interactive. So let's let people vote on these questions. Just to make sure bad happened here. No, it's fine. It looks fine. So they ask us to open each individual question. Done. So question ID.tsx. First, we're going to improve this page somewhat. Okay. They don't want us to show the ID, but instead the actual question, which makes sense. Like so. And if I reload, it didn't work. Ah, because I changed the title, not the H1. My bad. Which makes also sense. So let's change both. Question. I like to put a colon here. How many cups of tea did you drink today? Delete the pre. No, I don't want to delete the pre. It's so beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful. And copy in your choices list, which we wrote before. Yeah, we can do that. So let's just write it again. An unordered list of choices. And we do question.choice.map. And for each choice, we map it to an object, which is a list item. And the list item contains choice dot text minus and choice dot votes many votes. Votes like so. That's essentially just the one we wrote before. And one thing that we did do as well is put in a key here so that re-rendering is not broken and we don't get that warning. There we go. 0 votes for over 9,000. We have to increase this. We have to increase this a lot. Question Marathon Oil Corporation. What kind of nonsense is this? Okay, we did that. If you go back, yes. Do you love Blitz? Yes, we do. Even if in its 0.9 version. Now it's time to add voting. Yeah, let's do that. So if we want to add voting, what we need to do is, of course, use a mutation because we want to write and change data. So what they want is us to use update choice. Marathon oil.com. I remember. Let me see. The dividend of Marathon Oil. I think they had a crazy dividend. Or maybe not. Marathon Oil Corporation. I don't know. But I like that you Googled it. Oh yeah. No, with a dividend yield of 1%. Oh. 1% is not that much. But it's still something. More than most tech companies give you in a dividend. Where's my chat? Here. It sounded too crazy not to research it. Moving on. Update choice. So we could also, I think, create just another mutation. But since we don't really want people to change the text of the choice, we just want them to vote. what we are going to do is we just take this one, throw out this part, and put in some more interesting data. Data. I think it is. Yeah, the ID is inside there. X string any. No. Wait. I have to do this, right? Data, comma, still in any. But it does contain the okay, so we don't have to do this, but what we can do is votes. So we want the current, which is probably not typed. Is it data? Do we get the... No, this is the input that we saw earlier, right? Which means it's actually this here, which on the other hand means we don't have this here, but we can fetch it probably. That would be my idea. So something like await. Don't we have access to the... Let's see. We can use increment. No, that's easier. So increment is, I think, a SQL increment value. Auto increment a field. No, not auto increment. By on update. Yeah, okay. Prisma increment. So they say you should just do it like the regular stuff. But apparently we can do better by just saying increment :1 here. Did I write that correctly? Data votes increment 1. Yeah, that looks promising. But it does say expected 1 argument but got 2. Because of the comma. So data. Okay. Whatever that was. Yeah. Just one more character that was not correct there. Like so, and then it automatically, whenever we call this, it increments by 1, the votes by 1. So we have to use this update choice function somewhere, and most likely we have to use it somewhere here. So my guess is we put in a button here, and we want to use a mutation, which is update choice. Update choice mutation. And question. Okay. We can do, yeah, we don't need to define a type button, but theoretically it's possible. On click equals. So this is now a function. I would expect it to automatically await, so we can just do this. So what do they do here? Window.confirm. There's a window.confirm function. Good. And then they waited and they they redirect us to the, if we go here, if we do click here, we get this pop-up, and if we say okay, we would be redirected here. But we don't need that, so we can just probably do this. Where do I have to put the button? Inside or there, right? One click does not exist. Unexpected type. Oops. Detail HTML props. ID is missing in type mouse event. Required in type flatten something. Say again. Any ideas? I mean, we can just look it up. We wanted to. So it of course should have vote. D is missing in type. So this is a mutate function. So onClick should be a receive a function, right? Mutate function is not assignable to mouse event handler. Okay. Variables and event are incompatible. All I want is to execute it. So I don't really care what it does. Yeah. Okay. That was too strict typing. Probably. So what do? They do. So they add a button which can do nothing. They add update choice, which I just used the right here, like so, right? And I just used auto imports and then handle vote. If we should refetch apparently. So currently, this is a beautiful button. Okay. What was that misrendering just now? Okay, whatever. If I click, it does not re-render. It also did not do anything. Great. Update available, that's fine. So it did starting with input, get question. But at no point if I click vote, it does something. Okay. As of where? Error stack. Okay, cool. We have a nice error stack. Invalid object undefined. Message required. We probably have to define ID choice.id, something like that. Yeah, one thing that worries me here is it did not complain. What if we remove this? Does it complain now? Yeah, it does complain. And we have auto completion. Okay, perfect. But for whatever reason, you are allowed to call it without any arguments. Oh. Let's reload and click, and something happened this time. Info update choice, finished. And it updated. it takes a while. Ah, so how 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 comes? Why is that? Can anybody explain me? If I'm on this page and I just stay on this page, it stays at 5 after I click vote. But if I go away, it increases. Does it? It has to do with something with the rendering, I suppose, or what? I mean, they give us a simple way to fix it. Nevertheless, yeah, it's interesting to understand why this should happen. But he actually used the ngrok link. I like it. Adventurous and very active. Well, if you have an idea, a guess is also all right, to understand why the re-rendering happens whenever I move away and move back into this page. But still, it's not really refreshing, right? Well, can we check the network tab? Interesting idea. Very good. Very good. Very good. So let's do that before we fix stuff. So what do we expect? When we click, we definitely see a create update choice. And one thing that the interesting question is, when does get question when is it recalled? Only call update. Oh, interesting. So whenever we come back, it automatically does get question. Is that a... Yeah, I wonder. That's a Blitz feature, I suppose, right? That's not default behavior, I suppose. Is it? I would expect it to be, or let's say it like this. I don't know of any... Oh, did you see that? It also called... Oh, can we see the waterfall here? It called this one automatically. So it's automatically refetching every few seconds already. And in particular, it's refetching whenever we... Oh, it's not? Oh, it is. Whenever we move away and back to the page. Which is cool. That's a lot of annoying code that we would need to write. Yeah, Ichkatsovich also says this is not default behavior. I don't think so. Cool. Okay. Nevertheless, we want it to immediately apply and not just say 11 votes for the longest time, and then when we change it back, it updates. Or after we wait, I don't know, 1 minute or something. We can probably find that out, but let's not do that now. There's this nice waterfall view, which I don't know how to... here. So maybe with that we could probably find out something. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine for now. So what we want is const handle vote. And personally, I mean, this handle is kind of React style. I would just call it vote because that's what it is. And we put this into some brackets. And we need to have the choice here. And everything must be async. And we have to await this now. And one more thing that we have to do is refetch, apparently. Refetch is not existent. Great. Cannot find. Spelled wrong? No. And then we need to update the question use query to call refetch. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. But this is something that comes from here. Apparently something that comes with use query. We can have a specific query to refetch this single one. Anything else? Some alerting. I don't really care about that much. But that's about it. And now we would need to provide the choice here. What we can do, can we? I think we can do this. We can provide a function which takes a choice. And then we can write this. Is that faster or worse? I'm not 100% sure, actually. It definitely is nicer in the code that's very annoying to read, I think. Yeah. Alternatively, we can just do this. Wanted receive event, which is fine. So now it's a function. So you would receive another function call here, and then you do the async stuff. This is a function. Even if it takes an argument, it's still a function. Yeah. Yeah, let's just stick to the other one. So we make this one async, and we remove this one. Works as well. So we do the refetch. Did we miss something here? Handle vote. And they do it like that as well. Do we actually need the, yeah, we actually need only need the choice ID. So choice.id. Minimizing this interface. And that's it. As far as I understand. Yeah, it does stuff. Look at it. It's beautiful. And it's over 9,000. Cool. We're getting closer to the end. So what else do they have here? And that's just the full version, which is fine. We have that covered pretty much. We have handle votes here. Yeah, hands up. Woo! That's a high five sound. In case you're wondering. Leslie sounds good, at least for this tutorial. Let's allow editing choices for an existing question. We want to change it after all. Why? If you click the edit button on one of your existing questions, you'll see it uses the same form as creating questions. So that part is already done. Let's do that. Edit button.